Welcome to the Info Wiz Show, interviewing today's top internet entrepreneurs, sorting through information overload so you can stay focused and take action. Now, asking the questions you want answers to, here is your host, the Info Wiz, James Shutt.
Hello and welcome to the Info Wiz Show. I'm your host, James Shutt. The Info Wiz Show gives you valuable information that you can use to take action and build your business today. Today on the show we have Andrew Hunter. Andrew is a successful product creator that has built his primary business online by making WordPress plugins. Andrew offers several plugins to enhance membership sites. Andrew's flagship product is called MemberSonic. MemberSonic is a simple yet very powerful membership site plugin. Today I'll ask Andrew several questions about membership sites and how to get traffic to them. And we'll talk about why he built MemberSonic. Finally, we talk about how he successfully manages his online business and balances his home life to keep a happy balance. We're here today with Andrew Hunter from pluginresults.com. Hi Andrew, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. It's awesome to be here.
I appreciate it. Could you give us a little bit of your background?
I got started online about 5 years ago out of necessity. I was faced with a crossroads in my career online, or my career in the corporate world, and my wife wanted to step into ministry, and I really wanted to start my own home business anyway. So it was a good opportunity to jump in. But you can imagine going from a healthy six-figure salary down to a low five-figure-year salary on a pastor's salary. It was pretty difficult. We had a difficult transition to make. So I jumped in as a freelancer. I had some skill set in developing membership sites, and I focused in on that. But I was still kind of working for the man. I had no problem getting projects, but I was working late at night, looking after my kids during the day, and it was difficult for us. So I needed to figure out a way to sort of bridge that gap and get from working hourly and bringing home an income to actually making more money in my business and leveraging my skill set. So I saw an opportunity to start developing WordPress products for some of my existing customers for a need that they wanted to fill, but there wasn't a current product in the market to be able to do that. So I started developing WordPress plugins. I went out and hired a programmer. I'm not a programmer, but I could manage projects very well and manage people very well. So that all worked out well for me, and I started developing these plugins, which led to my most well-known product, which is MemberSonic, a membership site plugin. So that's sort of what I've been doing for the past couple of years, is really focusing in on the WordPress niche, developing software products for online entrepreneurs to be able to streamline processes and do things quicker.
Do you still do any of the freelancing work for, building memberships for people, or is that something you're not doing anymore?
I don't do it, but we do as a company offer it as a service. So we basically offer a setup service. Nothing fancy, no full-blown membership sites, but we'll make sure that our product is operational. For those that are technically challenged to be able to do things like that, it's a no-brainer for them to pay us a little bit of money, and we'll go out and set up the site because we can do it in our sleep, and all they have to do is add their content and their graphics, and they're good to go. Sure.
What type of membership models are out there? I know there's several. I mean, there's memberships that have coaching behind it, that have webinars. There's just a plain product type. What type of membership models are there that you work with?
Yeah, if you've done any site type of research online to try to understand how to build a membership site, you may have seen 10 different types of models. Somebody say there's 12 different types of models. There's all kinds of hybrid types of models, but essentially there's really only three. There is essentially a product download membership model where somebody purchases a product from you, a one-time payment, and they get access to that product behind a secure members area. The second model is what's called a publisher model. So that's sort of a pay-as-you-go type model where somebody pays you a monthly fee and you continue to provide them content on a weekly or monthly basis, and that content is always accumulating in your membership site. The third model is what's called a fixed-term membership site. So that's where you have like a course and you're teaching somebody how to solve a problem, to get from point A, from problem, to point B, solution. And you walk them through a series of lessons or modules, and at the end of the day, they're basically done in that membership site model. The nice advantage of that model is that it's sort of a set it and forget it. You can set it up so that you drip feed that content out on a periodic basis, whether it's weekly or monthly, and you basically don't have to touch it again, other than, you know, perhaps providing customer support, answering any specific questions they might have. But those are really the three main models when you're focusing on trying to develop a membership site for the first time, is either a product download or a publisher model or a fixed term membership site.
Okay. Well, what model would you recommend for a beginner? Somebody just starting out and they hear, you know, membership sites are the way to go. I know I can make some money with this. Some membership models are tougher to do than others. What would you recommend for a beginner?
Well, I definitely recommend the third option, the fixed term membership site. The reason for that is because although the publisher model is kind of attractive, the real disadvantage of that is that you're on the hook to provide content. So if you commit to providing content on a weekly basis, what happens if you know, your grandmother passes away and you have to go out of town for 2 weeks, and then you get back and you're scrambling to get back, you're already behind the 8 ball, and then you get sick. You know, there's just so many things that could happen that could cause you to fall behind, and once you fall behind, it is really hard to get caught up. Trust me, I've been there. So, you know, the publisher model is kind of difficult for that reason. The fixed term membership model really lends itself well to being able to set something up once and walk away from it. And you're really focusing on providing a specific solution to a specific problem that your customers might have.
So speaking of a specific solution to a specific problem, how would you tell a new person coming into this to choose their market? Is there, I mean, obviously you're basically in the IM niche. That's where I'm at, but there's a lot of IMers out there that are doing, you know, dog training or, you know, a lot of different markets. Is there a specific way you would tell someone to choose a market? Is there better ones for membership sites than others?
Well, there are better ones. The ones that probably are not better are the type of ones where, you know, somebody's really struggling with an issue that they need help with, but it's not something that they want to be made public, right? I mean, nobody really wants to sign up to a membership site to admit that they have a problem with child pornography, right? So those types of ones, nah. But the you know, the hobby ones, the make money niche, those ones lend really well to developing a membership site around those types of markets. So yeah, and you know, when you're looking at stepping into a membership site for the first time, you have a skill set and a passion in an area, and it might be an area that you want to focus in on, develop a membership site. The question is, will it make you money, right? I mean, that's the whole reason why you're in business, is to make money and deliver value to your customers. You can deliver value all day long, but if there's not a market there that's willing to pay you for that value, then it's really not an attractive model to be in, a niche to be in. So really consider, where is the money in your market? And number one, is there money there? And number two, in what part of your market is that money in, right? So if it's a hobby niche, well, golfers have lots of money to spend on their hobby, right? So they're willing to pay to overcome a problem. So if you're a great golfer, you know something that can help left-handed seniors over the age of 80 who still want to play golf on crutches, then fabulous. You can teach somebody how to do that, and you'll make a lot of money. So yeah.
Can you tell us what you feel that successful membership sites all have in common? Is there a commonality? I mean, there's some that you can look at and you can tell it's just, this is a failure. Is there something in the years that you've built the memberships, when you've had a successful membership, is there just a thing that they all seem to have?
Community. Definitely community. You need to have a connection with your members. You are essentially building a tribe, and that tribe needs a leader. So the stronger you are as a leader within your community, the stronger your membership site is going to be. That's definitely the main factor that I see of successful membership sites.
So saying that, in the back end of a membership, then are you talking maybe a forum or connecting it with social somehow, just to be able to get that interaction?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, there's a number of different ways you can do that. Forums nowadays, with the, you know, how powerful social media platforms like Facebook are, a typical built-in form into a membership site is not as attractive as it used to be because of how easy it is to connect with your tribe on Facebook. Create a Facebook page, interact with them there. Most likely they've got Facebook open 24 hours a day, so they don't have to log into a members area. You don't have to log into a members area. It's one less area where you have to manage.
One of the biggest problems with memberships seems to be member retention, keeping them there. So do you have any recommendations or tips for keeping your members?
There's a lot of different ways that you could approach that, and there's a lot of factors that go into deciding on how best to do that in your particular market. There's a number of things I like to do. I like to connect with them through email marketing, make sure that they know that new content's available in the members area. Not so much to put offers in front of them, but just to let them know through email that new content is available, that there's a change in the course, that there's an opportunity to attend a free webinar just for members only. Try to engage your members on a regular basis like that to draw them back to the site.
How often are you engaging them, would you say? Does it depend on the market?
It definitely depends on the market, but once every couple of days, for sure.
Okay.
Some people do it multiple times in a day, but everybody has a certain preference too.
And it's going to depend on the market too.
Yeah.
Some are obviously more active.
Yes.
With traffic generation to get people to your membership site, is there anything different, or is it pretty much the same as any other website?
That's a great question, and traffic is getting harder and harder to get good quality traffic to your site. Free traffic, paid traffic, warm traffic, cold traffic. If it's cold traffic, I would go paid traffic through Facebook ads to try to drive traffic to your offer at that time. But for me, probably there's two components personally that I use for traffic. Number one is word of mouth through my own customer base. If I establish a relationship with them, if they come to know, like, and trust me, then that word spreads. Not fast, but it spreads through social media platforms like Facebook. The other method that I use is obvious through affiliate marketing. So I use affiliates to promote my offers to their subscriber base. So they drive traffic through email to my offers, and I get buyers into my funnel through affiliate marketing.
So as a product creator, you have created, I think, a terrific membership plugin, MemberSonic Pro. And can you tell us why you created it?
Yeah, well, it kind of steps back to my freelancing days. So when I first got started as a freelancer building these membership sites, I was using the platforms that were available at that time. So I was using Wishlist Member plugin, I was using Digital Access Pass, and setting up membership sites for my customers. But what I found was, as good as those products are, they are really good. I certainly will not knock them. But the challenge is that when you're developing a site for a customer and the product is so robust and has so many bells and whistles that it can become kind of cumbersome for them to have to manage themselves. Number one, I have to train them how to actually use the product. And number two is just that there's, like I said, there's so many bells and whistles that they just get overwhelmed with all those features. So what I saw was an opportunity to develop a product of my own, which we called MemberSonic. And MemberSonic basically is a stripped down version of a membership site plugin that will allow you to get your membership site up and running relatively quickly. It has all the core features of products like Wishlist Member and Digital Access Pass, but we've really focused in on streamlining it to the point where you can basically do every single function in less than 5 clicks.
That's nice.
3 clicks for most.
Yeah,
great. So rather than having all these features buried, within menu item, within menu item, within menu item, you can get to anywhere you want to be on average within 3 clicks.
Is that what you would say is the biggest difference between Wishlist Member and MemberSonic Pro, is just the ease of use then? I mean, is that kind of where your marketing is going?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. So what do you offer as far as setup and training? You said that you offer a complete done-for-you service if needed. But as far as what type of back-end training do you offer? Do you have videos, or what do you have for MemberSonic?
Yeah, we have quite a few videos. We've got a PDF guide. We've hired somebody to develop a detailed manual for those that like to read rather than watch. So we've got that in progress right now. But we've added so many new features to MemberSonic since it was released in September 2012 that if you saw the product then compared to what it looks like now, it is radically different. But we still try to maintain that ease of use and intuitive, understanding of the dashboard to have that in place. So, but my point there is just that we've got a lot of tutorials in place. Some of them look a little different than what the product looks like today. So we're playing catch up always on our tutorials, just because of the number of features we continue to add to the product.
That's good. It just means you're updating it more, right?
Right. And James, one of the things I also want to say is that there's so many product creators in the market that develop WordPress plugins and themes that some of these guys are like fly by night, right? They'll create a product, they'll launch, and they'll sell, and then 6 months later it's gone, or they're gone, if the product's still there and it's just not supported. We develop our products, number one, to be used in our own business, and then roll them out to our customers. So MemberSonic is used every single day in our own business. So you can count on the fact that it's going to be maintained and new features will be added. We're very responsive in listening to our customers and understanding what their needs are. So we have this product roadmap for MemberSonic Pro where we continue to add new features based on how we prioritize those. And it really comes from feedback from our customers.
Yeah, I've actually been a customer since the start, and I've been amazed at what you guys have done. I mean, it's brilliant. So you spoke a little bit about some of the integration. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the different systems? Like I know JVZoo, you have all kinds of integrations. Would you like to talk about some of those for a little bit?
Yeah, sure. We really focus in on making sure we hit the big ones. So when we initially started, obviously PayPal, no-brainer. We added ClickBank, we've got JVZoo, we've got Warrior Plus. And then as time went on, we started to add some of these new platforms that came in the market, like Deal Guardian. We've got DigiResults. We've recently added Zaxa, which is my personal favorite. I love that platform. Those are the sort of the payment processor type platforms. As far as autoresponders, we integrate through what's called the API method, a direct integration with some of the big ones like Aweber and ActiveCampaign, SendReach. But we've got generic form code integration with pretty much every other autoresponder in the market. So we cover off those bases. But what's cool about MemberSonic, we've got a couple of kind of unique integrations. We've got an integration with GoToWebinar where you can automatically sign people up for a webinar, register for them for webinars when they become a member. And about a month or so ago, we added Webinar Jam. I love Webinar Jam. So we've got Webinar Jam now added as well. I think we're actually the first membership site product to add Webinar Jam as a direct integration.
What type of membership models then does MemberSonic handle? I mean, can all three of the ones you mentioned before?
That's correct. I personally use it for all three. And I've done a combination. Actually, I've done all three within one membership site. So yeah, it certainly is flexible enough to be able to do that.
I've had a few people talk to me about it, and they had concerns. I mean, you talked a little bit about fly-by-night plugin creators, and I know they're out there. Bought some of their stuff. As far as updates, I mean, it was a one-time fee, and it still is, as far as I know, for MemberSonic Pro, and you offer a free version of it as well. How can you keep upgrading it and making it so much better and not charge anybody anything more? I mean, is it going to stop? Are you going to start charging like a little fee every year, or what's your plans on that?
Oh, dude, that's a great question. I've been giving that a lot of thought. I committed to, we've got, I think we've got over 1,600 customers that have purchased MemberSonic over the past couple of years, and I've committed from day one to never charge any yearly support fees. Support is always a value-added service, and any upgrades they get for free. I've always committed to that. There's a trend in the marketplace, and more, where people are, always charging that yearly support fee. And some people charge, if the product's $47, then every year they charge you $47. So it's basically a recurring fee you're paying over and over again. I, I'm kind of torn between that because support is difficult to provide, right? As your customer base builds and you continue to add features to an evergreen product like a membership site plugin, it can become very time consuming to manage and maintain that. But we foot the bill. Every year we foot the bill. And, you asked me that question today. I have no plans for it,
Okay.
James. A year from now, ask me again.
Right. You may have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your support's top notch too. I mean, that's one of the reasons I love using your software and I buy it all. Just simply because your customer support has been top notch. You never back away from any of the questions, and you're right on top of it. And a lot of it's, personally answered by you too. So I just that makes me wonder how you're able to to do it without a fee. I would gladly pay a fee yearly if need be for it. So one of the things that also that came along a little bit later, that I think when I got it originally I had asked in an email to you, but it was a concern I had. I wanted some sort of a developer or commercial license for it because I was wanting to flip membership sites. And you do offer that, correct?
Yes, it's not something that I advertise, but I certainly offer it. It's not exactly a developer license. It's what I call a commercial license. It's much like the way Wishlist Member has theirs structured. What you get is you get a bundle of 10 license keys where you're entitled to be able to go out and develop a membership site for a client and use one of those license keys to activate the plugin on their site. So what you can buy them in basically bundles of 10. What's kind of unique to our licensing structure for our commercial license is that initially up front you also get what we call our membership site master's course. So it's a series of lessons, a fixed term membership, where you learn basically how to create a business developing membership sites for clients as a freelancer. So you go through that course, and at the same time you get 10 license keys so you can actually go off and apply it. When you need to purchase additional license keys, you can come back to us and buy another bundle of 10 whenever you like.
That's great. That's great. It's a great service. What do you feel is the biggest challenge in your business right now?
Managing growth. It's a good position to be in. It's a good problem to have. But definitely managing growth brings problems of its own. It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of a weird situation to be in.
Yeah, because you take a lot of it on yourself, right?
That's correct. You get to a point where you're so busy, but to take it to that next level requires an investment of cash. And although you're making money in your business, it's not quite enough to take it to that next level,
right.
to flip and reinvest that amount of capital required to move on to the next phase. So yeah, it's always a balance, right? A balance of managing that cash.
So how much time do you spend on the computer every day running your business? I know you're full-time, and I know how much I spend, and I still have a full-time job. So
right.
I mean, how much time do you usually spend on the computer working your business? Well,
it is changing. My wife, as a pastor, means that I can stay at home and look after our children, send them off to school, be here when they get home. It was always a priority to us. But it also meant that, after the kids go to bed at night, I'd be working till 1 or 2 in the morning, right? And doing that 5 days a week. And on a weekend, I'd jump online and do whatever I had to do. That is changing. I would say, I'm at that point also where I can step back a bit, knowing that things are running, and be able to do some volunteer work at our church, which I do every Thursday, and step away from having to work late nights, be able to go to bed with my wife on time, which she likes. So so that kind of brings me to, I mean, it's important. How do you keep the family and your wife happy with? I mean, it is a problem, not necessarily with you, but I know a lot of people, getting into this, that it can be an issue. So how do you keep the family happy? Well, when Sarah, my wife, and I first decided to go down this road, we realized that there were going to be sacrifices in a lot of ends, and she got used to me stepping away down to the office and, without just walking away from the family in the evening for a half an hour to address emails or whatever that looks like. She kind of got used to that early on. But as long as when I say I'm going to be available, I'm available and not distracted by my iPhone or email or things like that, it works out well. So I always put my family first, knowing that I still have a business to run, and without me, it's difficult to run. So there are trade-offs. There are times when it's difficult, but we manage to make things work.
Do you have any time management suggestions for new people starting out? I really, because you are full-time, so you run it like a business, like myself. My wife and I have agreements too. But do you have any suggestions for people? I realize that doing online marketing takes a lot of time, especially if you're new, you're learning everything, and there is a huge learning curve on a lot of things. You are kind of a time management guy. Do you have any suggestions for people in that realm?
Yeah, there's two mistakes that I see people make a lot, and they're very easy mistakes to make. Number one is we're so bombarded by emails of offers, right? We get, depending on how many lists you're signed up to, you'll get a ton of offers every day. And these offers are very attractive. It could be a new software product that you think might improve your business. It could be a new course that teaches you the latest traffic techniques. The problem is they're coming at us all the time from different sources, and it's basically the same information. So what can happen is you can get so caught up in trying to learn that you don't actually go off and apply anything. And you're killing time, right? You're wasting money and killing time. The other problem I see happening is people start something and they don't finish. They'll start something and then they'll get another idea, or they'll see another opportunity, and then they'll start on those as well. So now all of a sudden, instead of focusing on one thing, they've got half a dozen things on their plate. Well, when that happens, right, and you're working on half a dozen things at the same time, which realistically you can't, it takes 6 times as long before you're actually going to finish one of those things. Focus on one thing at a time. The sooner you get something done, the sooner you can start generating revenue in your business.
Yeah, there's a lot of time consumed, and every new shiny object seems like it just takes your attention away because you think, oh, this might work in this, and then all of a sudden you're off 6 levels deep doing something else, taking focus off of your business. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
If you had to start over, was there any mistakes that you felt that you made, a shortcut that you could save somebody from, I know there's, if you're like me, there's been several, but is, any sort of thing that you would do a little different? Well,
those two things I mentioned about time management, number one is shiny object syndrome. I fell victim to that, and it took a while for me to be very diligent in saying to myself, I don't need that, right? I focus on this. I don't need that. Try not to do it. That's really all I can say.
That's the biggest mistake.
Yeah, like, there's so many email platforms in the market. There's so many different ways to drive traffic. Stick to one, right? Just stick to one and try it. Don't jump around because you'll never get anywhere.
How can people contact you, Andrew, if they need some information about your products, your coaching? You've got all kinds of great products and stuff out there. What is the best way for someone to get a hold of you?
Well, our main hub store is called pluginresults.com, but our support desk is support.pluginresults.com. And as you alluded to, I usually answer a lot of those general questions myself, so good chances are I'll be on the other end of any general inquiry questions that come through.
That's great. Hey, I'd like to thank you for being on the show today. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Andrew.
It's awesome, James. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Info Wiz Show. Info Wiz Show. Have more questions? We would love to hear from you. Visit theinfowiz.com.